Good morning. How are all of you? I'm going to do a super quick sound check over here to make sure that we have some sound. Does that sound like a good idea? Hello, hello. I think my sound is off on my computer. Or there's no sound. Anybody watching, can you comment and tell me if you can hear me? Yay, Lynette. Thank you for telling me. Yay, Lynette. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I get a little bit feedback from there. So, how are you all doing on this Monday? I think spring is finally here in Utah, at least. We think. Nobody's ready to bet on it yet, though, right? We're looking forward to some beautiful weather today. So, okay. Well, as you can tell, it's just me today. We had scheduling things going on, and I needed to stay a little bit closer to home today. So, and Fran had a big project she was trying to finish. So I'm just here today to talk to you. So I'm glad that a couple of you are watching. Lynette, you're watching. It looks like Terry's watching. Um, so I hope you're all doing well. Hope you all had a nice Memorial Day. It was a good holiday at our house. We were pretty chill, which is nice. Sometimes we get really busy on holidays and we go places, but it was nice to stay home. So, okay. Good morning, Francine. I can see that you're watching. Um, okay, if anybody has any questions or anything during this live, just go ahead and comment. So, wanted to give you a couple of announcements first. The first announcement, that's not necessarily the first in order, is that not this Saturday, but next Saturday, June 8th is the big reveal for our second Saturday quilt. And we've been showing you those blocks all along. Some of you are joining with us. Some of you are far away and don't want to join with us. But I did want to let you know that it's not too late to join with us. So if you haven't joined second Saturday and you would like to, you do need to come in the store or call for that. And you can get all of your blocks up to this point. And then if you get just the last set done before June, you can come get your last kit for free. So then you'll have to catch up on your own. But if you join now, you'll get access to all the videos that we've been doing. You'll get access to the private Facebook group that we've got. We've got a lot of tools and stuff available for you. So go check that out. And yeah, it's going to be really exciting. The quilt is about done, the reveal quilt, and it is gorgeous. You guys are going to love it. Now, we have a few spots left. If we have anything left, which we may not, but if we do at the end after the reveal, then we will sell complete kits, but they will be at a higher price. There is an advantage to joining now, price wise. So if you want to do that, go ahead and do that. Um, it's just going to be exciting. It's just going to be amazing. So the other thing I wanted to mention is next week, well, actually in all of June, we have some fabulous classes that still have space available. So if you want to go to our website and up at the top bar, there's a classes link and you can click on that classes link and just go see all the classes. Most of the classes have pictures that go along with them and you can just go see what's available. Some classes are full, but there are definitely classes with spaces available. So I wanted to mention next week there's a Tamarack jacket class. And so you can make the Tamarack jacket just with plain fabric. You can make it with a vintage quilt. You could make it with a quilt top that you don't necessarily want to finish. You could make it even with some quilt blocks. So there's a beautiful picture on our website. Go check that out. And so that class is a two-part class. The first class is next Monday. Okay, and then my paper piecing class is next week as well, and there's still space available in that paper piecing, and it is tiny paper piecing. So if that interested any of you, I know that some of you do not like that, and that's okay. But I love it, and I'm excited. So I'm going to teach that class next week, and I believe it's next Wednesday. Let me double check. I don't want to lie to you. Yes, it is next Wednesday. So, and that is also a two-part class, but if you don't want to come to the second part, you'd be learning all the techniques in the first part. So the second one is optional if you'd like to come, the second section. But the first section is where you learn all the techniques for the tiny paper piecing. So that should be really fun. And then also we're doing another chit chat next week. That's just an open sew format. It's at the Hive, which is across the street from our store. Beautiful location. Any of you have been there? Beautiful light, big open space, plenty of room, and it's just open sew. So it is, oh gosh, sorry. It is 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and you bring whatever you want to sew. There's no teacher there, but we do have someone at the store who will be there just kind of coordinating the event. It's not really much. There's a snack table, bring a snack to share, and there are a few spots left in that. We've been filling that up every month, but we did skip May because it was during Shop Hop, would have been the time that we would have had it. So, but there is space in June. So it's really fun. If you're behind on Second Saturday, if you have gifts that you want to complete, if you have a new project you've been wanting to start and you just want a good chunk of time to get going on that, if you have works in progress that you're working on, UFOs that you want to just come get taken care of. So that's a great time for that. Plus, it's fun to sit and visit either with new friends. Last time I went, so I think I've been twice. I think I might have been twice. Anyway, sat by ladies that I'd never talked to before. We had a fabulous visit. I got some good sewing done. I ate some good treats. It was really fun. So it's fun to see what treats people bring and stuff like that. Man, I've got the yawns. I'm sorry. I'm going to take a big drink of water. Sorry. Okay. But I want to know what you're sewing on in your sewing room and how you sew for holidays. Do you like holiday sewing? And I was listening to a lady speaking the other day, talking in a quilt shop, and she was saying how in the summer she sews for Christmas time. At Christmas time, she's sewing her summer things. I kind of like to work on whatever is in season. So if it's Christmas time, I want to be sewing with Christmas fabric. If it's summertime, I want to sew with summer fabric. The problem with that is I am not a fast enough. I'm not fast enough with my projects usually to do a whole project and get it completed in the same season and get it ready to go. So, I was just curious, how do you do that in your sewing room? Tell me if anyone, I'll flip back so I can see comments. So it's just kind of interesting. Now, the reason that we bring this up is because in the store we are starting to get our Christmas fabric. And I know it just feels like we just barely finished Christmas almost, but and we're still, you know, we're still in May, so we've got longer to go till Christmas than we've just had past Christmas. But anyway, we are getting Christmas fabric in. So we wanted to talk about some Christmas ideas, Christmas gifty things that you could do, maybe do now, so that it's just done, crossed off your list. And since the fabric is in the store, when we get down to closer to Christmas, that our Christmas selection really starts dwindling because we get it all now. And so people who buy it, and then as we get close, we may have bits and pieces, but we may not have coordinating fabrics and stuff like that. So you do kind of need to think about it a little bit. even if you just want to buy the fabrics now and wait for sewing, till a little bit closer. But we wanted to go through some gifty ideas. This is a project bag, and probably many of you have seen those. They've got a zipper on the top. This one does have clear vinyl. And this is a great gift that you could give to someone. Now, a couple ladies in our second Saturday, and I love this, but they used practice blocks on the back, and then made a project bag with their practice blocks, which I think is such a great idea. So this is a good idea to make. Bayani has a great pattern. I think there's even a couple of free tutorials out there. It's also good to kind of adjust the size a little bit if you wanted to make one a little bit bigger for a certain project or smaller. It's really handy. Mine has a handle on it. It's really handy just to carry around. So this is not Christmas fabric. It's just one that I had literally laying in my sewing room. But I thought that's a really good gifty idea. And a couple of these things to me are good. Like you had 2 or 3 friends that you were, best sewing buddies with. If you wanted to make a couple at the same time, it'd be easy to kind of mass produce a little bit. I'll show this one now. So I just found this pattern last week. It's called the Hemingway pouch. And it's by Center Street Quilts, and you can go to her blog and get the pattern. She also has a ton of video tutorials on Instagram and also on her blog of how to make this pouch. And I just made this one yesterday. This is some of our new Christmas fabric that we just got in. Isn't it so cute? So this is the large size. The pattern comes in 4 sizes. There's one beyond this. There's extra large. There's a small, medium, large, and extra large. And actually I made the small, but it's not Christmas fabric, but I just made the small last week. And this is actually some of my Australian fabric that my sweet Australian friend brought me. So I just made this. This is a perfect size for like a rotary cutter. That's what I've got in there right now, or sunglasses, or almost like a pencil case. And you could adjust these sizes pretty easily, just a little bit, just slightly, to see if there's something specific that you want to put in. It says this one is good for like a standard size tablet. I haven't tried to see if my iPad would fit in here. I have kind of a big iPad, so I don't know if mine would fit in here. I meant to try that before the live, but I just think it's such a cute pattern. It's got this fun diagonal zipper, and this is the lining, which is also just a cute stripe, Christmas stripe that we just got in. And then I used Bayani patterns or zippers by the yard, which you don't necessarily have to do, but it was really nice. Zippers by the yard, well, any of the Bayani zippers have a wider zipper tape, so it's just easier to work with. And then you get to pick your own zipper pull. And so this one, you can see I kind of chose like a limey green, and it's kind of a contrasting green, but I thought that was kind of fun. And then, especially on the bigger sizes, with kind of your waist or part that you cut off, you can make a smaller one. And she tells you how to do this on her blog. So this is the same fabric that I used here. This was just my waist that I cut off to make that size, and then I got the one this size. And this is, it's way bigger than a gift card. I don't know what a good thing to put in here would be. I'm trying to think. But anyway, maybe a little bit of makeup or like a pill case. These are so great for travel, but I think they're so cute. The way she has you finish them on the inside, she has you cover up the seam, and it just looks really professional and finished. I think they're so cute. The very hardest part is quilting your fabric. I used Soft and Stable. And so once you have that, these made up so fast, and they're so cute. So highly recommend these. The Hemingway pouch. I will link her blog when I get done with this. And it was really fun. In fact, this one, so you need Soft and Stable, you need I had fat quarters of both of these pieces, so the inside and the outside. And then this binding, she doesn't call it binding, she calls it accent fabric in her pattern. This was leftover binding that I had, and it was already pressed in half. So I just used it, and it's pretty darn cute. I think it works really, really good. So great kind of way to use up some maybe leftover binding. But I was thinking, sometimes when you see the fabric and you're like, oh, I gotta have it, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, and you grab a couple fat quarters, all you need is 2 fat quarters. If you get to the extra large size, you need bigger than fat quarters. But small, medium, large, I'll use fat quarters. And then you do need more for the accent. And those you use longer strips. So fat quarter is not necessarily a great piece for those, although you really could piece it if you wanted to. But so that one you might want to purchase some yardage, or if you already have a little bit of yardage, it'd be nice to use a strip for that, or a jelly roll strip or something that you've got left over. But fat quarters are a good size. So if you were walking through the store and you saw a fat quarter that you loved, this we don't sell at our store, but I did want to show this. Do you remember when we went to Shepherd's Bush? Oh man, it's been a couple months ago at least. We went to Shepherd's Bush and we showed you everything that they have in their store. And I bought the kit for this Santa, and they have it made into a pillow, and he is so cute. But this last weekend, because we stayed home, I actually started working on the pattern or started working on this cross stitch, and it's the big stitch. So here's what I have done. Let's see, not too much, but it has been so much fun. I love working on this kind of burlappy big stitch fabric. It's easy to see. And it's just been great to do. I've been binge watching a series that I've already seen before, and so it's easy to just kind of stitch while I'm doing that. So that's been really fun. If you have cross stitch or want to go pick up one, that one's fun from Shepherd's Bush. And then these are the other things we showed you at Shepherd's Bush. We have a couple of holiday ones if you want to work on the holiday ones now to have them ready for the holidays. But we also have, this is their 4th of July one. I've finished this one. And then just the other day, I actually finally finished my Queen Bee one. And these are really fun. They do not take very long, so you could definitely have these done by the holidays. But I think we have all of the patterns in our store for these bags. We don't have every single color of bag. But what I love about this project is it's super practical, because inside the bag that you're already stitching on, you can keep all of your thread and your pattern and everything you need. And so, this just goes with you. So they just barely came out with smaller bags, and Shepherd's Bush is doing smaller bag patterns. And so I'm really excited about that. But I did want to show you, here's a couple of, I don't have any Christmas ones at my house to show you today, but they do have an autumn one that's so cute, and their thankful one, which is really cute. And they've just got some really cute patterns. So that's a super cute gifty idea. Grab it while you're going somewhere this summer, going on a trip, going on an airplane, going camping, sitting at home. Sometimes in the summer it just gets too hot and you want to be inside doing something. It's great little project to do. And then of course there's the tablecloths, the pillowcases. And I wanted to show this one. This one's a cute Christmas one. I actually made this this morning, and I timed myself. It took me just over 30 minutes to make this from start to finish. And that was, I had fabric in my stash, and excuse me, I grabbed it out of my stash and I had to press it because it had been in my stash for a little while. And I cut it, and then I sewed it, and I think the reason it took me just over 30 minutes is because I did a French seam. So does anyone know what a French seam is? So, um, and I'll tell you why I did a French seam. So what I did is the pattern tells you to put wrong side or right sides together and just sew it together and pull it inside out. But because it's a pillowcase, I feel like it's going to get a little bit more use and probably a little bit more washing than just a regular quarter seam allowance would really hold up to. So I did a French seam. So when you do a French seam, what you do is you put um, wrong sides together. So you sew it with the pretty sides out first, and you sew it, and it feels really weird because you're thinking this is going to be the seam on the outside. Then you flip it inside out, and you have to work really hard. It takes a minute. No, it's not hard. It takes a minute of kind of really getting that seam kind of opened up and pressed. And then you're going to sew with a little bit bigger than 1/4 inch seam allowance on the inside, and that covers up the seam from the outside. Does that make sense? I don't know that I'm doing a very good job at explaining it, but that's what a French seam is. So basically, the inside is actually a really pretty seam, and the outside looks like normal. So, but that's not super necessary. You could just sew the first time with a little bit bigger of a seam allowance if you wanted it to be a little bit sturdier. But these pillowcases are so cute. This big lining fabric takes 3/4 of a yard. This fabric here takes, let's see, and you can find a lot of different patterns out there. We actually have a free one in the store. If you come in the store and ask for the pillowcase pattern, we'll give you a free one. This one calls for 9 inches, this kind of cuff fabric, and then this cute accent fabric. I saw some patterns this morning when I was doing a little bit of research that had called for 2 inches. Mine called for 3 inches, so my cuff's 1.5 inches because it's folded in half. Well, and then a seam allowance, so it's probably really only 1 inch. But you could totally adjust that. If there was a particular print or something you wanted there, you could probably make it a little bit bigger even than the 3 inches. So if you just bought, 1/8 of a yard or 1/6 of a yard of something that you liked for that, and then if you did 1/4 of a yard for this one and then 3/4 of a yard for this one. So you do need a little bit more yardage than just probably scrap, at least for this. But these ones you could probably have something out of your stash. So these would be really cute. I've mentioned it many times, but we had a cute customer come in, and she said that this is how she wraps all of her grandkids' Christmas presents, is in a pillowcase. And I just love that. I thought that was so cute. They get something handmade from grandma, and they get a new pillowcase. So win-win, right? And then we had one of our cute employees, Deanna. She said she did one, and maybe lots of other people have done this too, but she's one who told me she gave in a pillowcase, she gave her grandkids a book and a flashlight so that they could read at night. And I thought that was a really cute idea. So the pillowcases, super cute. Again, if you have fabric that you just love and you just get enough for a pillowcase or two. And then there's also variations of this pillowcase if you wanted to have like a king size pillowcase, you could just get a little bit more fabric. If you wanted to make like a travel pillow, you could get smaller fabric. So those are all options. And then we've got our 10-minute table runner, which I could not find this morning. I brought them to work one day to show on a Village Vibes, and I can't find it. I had 2, and I cannot find them. And I swear I just barely saw them the other day, and I keep looking around my sewing room thinking, where did I put them? But we have a free tutorial for that on our website, so I will link that as well. That requires even less fabric, but it's super easy to make bigger, longer, wider, whatever you want to do for a specific space. If you have a side table that you need just a really short one, if you have a kitchen table that you want a really long one, it's really easy to to adjust the sizes for that. So those are all pretty quick Christmas projects that if you buy the fabric now while it's in the store, while it's fresh and hot off the presses, then you could get your Christmas stuff just done. So I wanted to also talk about this new product that we've got in the store. It's called Quilters Select Free Fuse. So this is a powder and you put it in a shaker bottle, and this is I don't have the one that we have at the store. This is just the one that I had at home. The one that we have in the store comes with a little shaker bottle. And what it does is, when I was making these Hemingway pouches, I was able to lay my Soft and Stable, which is what I used as batting, but you could use regular batting as well, and the Free Fuse would work for that as well. So I laid down my Soft and Stable, I laid down my fabric on the top, and then I pulled back my fabric and I sprinkled this Soft Fuse all over. And this is adhesive. It says it's semi-permanent fusible powder. So I sprinkled that all over, and then I used a Teflon sheet and put that on the top, laid the fabric back, put the Teflon sheet on, and then I pressed it, and it just takes 4 seconds. And then my fabric was fused to my Soft and Stable, and then I quilted it, and it worked perfect. It worked really well. So, I mean, I've used like spray, aerosol spray, what's it called? Why can't I think of the term? Basting spray. I've used that before. You can baste it, you could pin it. There's all sorts of different ways that you can do that. 505 spray works. There's all sorts of things. But these are stinky, and they also overspray. They overspray on places that I don't want it to overspray on. So this is actually a really cool idea. I felt like it didn't make that big of a mess. Obviously I needed to be careful where I shook it, but it's actually a really cool item. So, and I didn't feel like I used a ton. So, I feel like, so the one we have in the store, this is a 1 ounce package. The one we have in the store is a 2 ounce package. I feel like it would probably last you quite a while. Now, if you did an entire like queen size quilt with it and decided to baste that, I don't know how far that would go, honestly. I was just doing fat quarter sizes to do this, and I just didn't feel like I used very much at all. So it's kind of a cool new product. Well, I don't know how new it is. It's new to us. We just got it in the store. And so it's really cool. So it's called Quilter Select Free Fuse. So if any of you have used this, let me know. Okay, let's see. Does anyone else have any comments fun things that you like to make for Christmas? And how do you like to sew for holidays? Do you like to sew in advance? Typically what happens is I think, oh, I'm going to get this done for Christmas, and then I get it done in like February, and then it's ready for the next Christmas. And I have a couple of holiday things over there sitting, waiting to be done, and who knows when they'll get done. I've got a Christmas one. I think I've got a Halloween one. I think I've got Thanksgiving one. See, I should get those done. But I don't think I've got any comments unless anyone wants to jump in right now. But next week, I promise, Fran and I will be back together. We'll be back at the store, and we'll do some really fun things to do for Village Vibes. So I hope you're all having a great day. I hope maybe you get to sew a little bit today. Enjoy the sunshine. I hope it's sunny where you're at. I'm enjoying the green and the flowers popping up all around me, and I'm enjoying the sunshine. So probably going to sit out on my porch for a little while today, maybe go for a little bit of a walk, get out, move my body, and enjoy the sunshine. The sunshine is good for your soul. So, as Fran would tell you, please be kind to yourself. Remember the 5-10 rule. Remember the 5-10 rule is if you're 10 feet away from somebody, then you smile, and if you're 5 feet away, you say hi, and just brings a smile to both of your faces. So it's a good thing to do, and we thank you for joining me and watching along, and I just hope you have a wonderful day. See you next week. Bye-bye.